Good afternoon, I'm Louise and I'm your academic subject librarian. Today we're going to quickly go through finding information for your assignments. We'll cover creating an effective search strategy, finding books and journals using the library website, and how to locate the full text journal articles on the library website. So initially, you will need to develop a research question if a question hasn't been provided to you. You'll need to choose a topic. So what have you covered in your classes so far and what is interesting to you? We do advise you base your research around something you're interested in because it makes it much more fun and enjoyable to research. Are there any areas that you feel particularly confident or knowledgeable in? It's always good to base your research on something you already know a little bit about even. What questions relating to your topics have been addressed? So you have an idea of a topic, but you need to understand what has already been researched in your area. Please don't select something that's been overly researched. Perhaps you won't be able to add too much more to the research. You might have to find another side of the topic that has been under-researched, and that's where you can find your area in the questions that have not been answered. What you want to do after you finish your degree, it can be very helpful if you can actually tailor your research question to the ideal occupation that you would like to do, or perhaps even further education once you finish your course. And also you could identify any new or developing areas in your chosen field. So is there something new that's out there? If you go down that route, I will warn you that it means there probably isn't a huge amount of research done in your area. So your literature review might look very small, but that's okay. You can mention that in the methodology section and in the limits section. When it comes to creating or finding the right area of research for you, I'd always advise you to speak to your supervisor or your tutor. And when it comes to finding information to populate your research and to stand you in good stead, again, speak to your supervisor or your tutor, and you can come to me as well. Your preliminary research, so you need to find out whether there's enough material on your topic out there. If there's not a lot of material, you might struggle a little bit, or on the flip side, you could be considered a trailblazer and starting something very new. And then in the future, you'll be the person that people refer back to when they're doing the research in your area. But it is important for you to know exactly what has been done before and where you fit in. Is the scope of your topic manageable? So very frequently a student will have a really, really interesting research idea, but it's actually far too broad to be considered for just one piece of research. So you might have to narrow your focus just a little bit in your topic area. And has your question already been answered? If your question has already been answered, then there's no point in you asking it again. What you're there to do is to stand on the shoulders of giants. So you can further a research question, certainly, but you won't be repeating yourself because that would not be acceptable. And as it says here, your supervisor, tutor, and myself, your librarian, can help you find background reading material on your topic. So you have your question or the area that you're interested in. We consider in this university that there are 7 steps to searching. Firstly, you'll examine your question. So thoroughly understand the question, whether it's a question that you've given yourself or whether it's a question you've been set by your lecturer. Examine it, understand fully what it is asking you, because on occasion, sometimes students half pay attention to the question, they go off and do a wonderful amount of research, create a really interesting paper, but when they re-examine the question, they've actually not answered it and they've wasted an awful lot of their time, unfortunately. So make sure you know what your question is. And then you need to identify the key terms or concepts. So you have your question, but how are you going to find information? What are the words you're going to use in order to go out into the world and find information? So you need to identify the key terms and the key concepts within your theme, within your question. And once you have the key terms or the main words you want to use, you'll need to identify any alternative ways of saying the same things. So synonyms could be considered, alternative spelling should be considered, or alternative endings. So for example, alternative spellings, there's a difference in the way behavior is spelled between the UK and the US. So you might have an extra U or no U in behavior, for example. So try both spellings. If you're looking at endings, if you're looking at management, sometimes it could be manager, managing, management. Consider the different endings as well to try and broaden out your search. You could also consider using limits, which I will talk in just a moment. If you use limits, it means that you're going to narrow down your search. You're trying to get it really, really focused into something particular. You could combine your search terms. So you could try putting in, for example, behavior with an O, and then also search for behavior with a U, or whatever your concept is. You can mix and match your search terms. Always review your results. I mean, that's just obvious. Review your results. If you find that you're not getting things that are relevant to you, look back at your key terms, look back at the words you're searching, the ones you're actually using to create your search, and change those if you can. And this is my real area of interest. This is where I can help you most, and is to make sure that you're using the right key terms, and to make sure that your synonyms and alternative spellings, to make sure that you've thought of everything basically as you're searching. So if you find that you're not getting information that you need, please come to me. I'd be delighted to help you. And then just adjust your strategy based on your results and go at it again. It's trial and error to a certain extent. All you need is to find one paper. One relevant paper is enough to start you on your way, because what you can do is you can go to the referencing section at the end of that particular paper or piece of information, and the author will have listed everybody that they've referenced. So you'll have all of their reference material, and therefore you have information on the other researchers in that particular area. So all you really need is to find that one paper and you're on your way. Yeah. Straight into useful techniques. So there are different ways of helping yourself as you are creating your search strategy in a search engine like Google, or if you're going to use the library's search site. I'll show you that in a moment. And these are just ways to help you with your search. So you can enter the root of a search term. In this case, we have the word computer, and you just replace the ending with a truncation, which is an asterisk. So you type in compute, at the T you put in the asterisk, and then the search engine will go off and find words computer, computing, computed, any alternative ending after that T. So you can do that for manage, management, manager, managed. Any word that has an ending like that, you can put in your truncation, and the system will just go off and bring you back all the possible results with all of the different endings. It can also be used between two words. So the example here is A Midsummer Night's Dream. You're not entirely sure where that asterisk goes, or the apostrophe goes. You don't want to make a fool of yourself, so you just slap in the truncation, pop in the asterisk in between midsummer and dream, and the system, the search engine, should go off and find nights for you, the correct spelling, and just bring you back all of the results with the correct word. It's very simple, and it's a very straightforward technique, and can really help you if you're struggling to find information, because it broadens out your search. Wildcards are also very interesting to use and can be quite helpful. This is, again, let's use color here. We're looking at the OUR, so it's to help you with alternate spellings. So if you typed in COLO #R into a search engine, it will bring you back results with the two spellings of the word color, the American spelling and the UK spelling. So one will have the U and one will not. You can do that as well for anything where there's an S or a Z, organize, for example, organization, anything where there could be an alternate letter. You can pop the hashtag in where that letter is or is not, depending on which way you're spelling it, and it will bring you back results containing both alternate spellings. Searching for multiple words. This is my absolute favorite, because so often as you are doing your searches, you'll have an actual phrase, be it a 2-word phrase or a 3-word phrase or 4, whatever it happens to be. If we were to take the example here and look at early Middle Ages, If we just type in early Middle Ages into any search engine, you're telling the search engine to look for the word early anywhere in any article, middle anywhere in any article, and then separately the word ages anywhere in any article. Now, if you've got a particularly intelligent search engine, it will probably recognize that early Middle Ages is a phrase, so it'll give you those results first, but it will also give you results with just the word early anywhere. If you want to let the search engine know that you would definitely 100% want early Middle Ages, they're like married together. They don't move at all. You pop them into the quotation marks, and then the search engine will bring you back exactly that phrase. Early Middle Ages, 1, 2, 3, those words will be right after each other in the sentences. So that's a way of cutting out an awful lot of nonsense and a lot of items that just have no relevance to you whatsoever. If you use the university's, the library's webpage for searching, I definitely recommend that you do that if you're looking for a phrase. The other one is Boolean searching. You guys are probably quite familiar with this, and or not. It's just a little visual to help the students who might not have a full idea of what the results would be. If you type in child and psychology, you are telling the search engine you want both terms. So it will spit you back results that contain both the word child and the word psychology. And you see that little intersection in between the two circles. Those are the papers that you'll find. If you choose or, you're broadening your search out and you're telling them that you want at least one of those terms, and you don't mind whether it's adoption or fostering. So it will bring you back the papers that contain everything. It will have the word adoption or the word fostering in it. And as you can see, that's the complete sphere of journal articles, for example, that they will return. So not just that little intersection, it's the whole lot. And if you choose not, so you're interested in football, but you've absolutely no interest in soccer, you type in football, not soccer, into your search engine, and it will only bring you back results that contain the word football. And as you can see, that intersection where an article might contain football and soccer, it won't be returned to you because you have no interest in soccer. If you've got too few results, so you've typed everything in, you've come up with your keyword searches, you've put in your truncations or whatever that you're interested in, you hit return, and there are too few results. This usually happens if you're completely off the mark, you've chosen the wrong key terms completely, or if it's a relatively new area of research, you can come back with very few results. So we just recommend that you check your spelling to make sure that everything's correct there. Check your database coverage, so you can select which databases that the system, particularly our system, the library system, checks. So make sure that the relevant databases are actually covered. You could try alternative or less specific keywords. You can use or if you wanted to broaden that out. You can use and, again, might broaden it out. And you can apply truncation, which is where you change, you put in the asterisks at the root, after the root of a word like computer, and it will bring you back other options. If you get too many results, and this is usually the case in our searches, you can come up with maybe millions after your first search. Don't be afraid, it's okay. Just go back and change things. So you can put in your limits on the left-hand side of the page. I'll show you in a moment where you can limit things. I would use your quotation marks. I would just look at things being much more specific and go back to your keywords again to see if you can come up with alternate words. And if it's just right and you think you're brilliant, you can pat yourself on the back, well done. But then I would check it to be absolutely sure that you have covered everything. It's a great feeling when you get the results you're looking for. But I would always go back and check everything again just to make sure you've got everything you need. Kieran, are you there?
I sure am.
Is it okay if I do a live demonstration?
Yes, please do.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So I'm just checking to make sure that it's okay to do a live demonstration. By a live demonstration, I'm just going to show you how to use the library's search to find information that's relevant to yourself. This is the library's homepage, and this is our web address. It's library.lincoln.ac.uk. That's library.lincoln.ac.uk. And the reason why I would recommend you use this site, you can use Google, you can use whatever you like, there's no problem. But everything you receive in the results here from us has come from a peer-reviewed source, particularly if you are going through the academic journals. Everything that means that everything is suitable to use in your assignment right here, right now. You don't have to worry about its pedigree. You don't have to worry about where it has come from, because it has gone through a very rigorous academic process to make sure that it is suitable for publication. And if it has gone through that and has been published, we pay a lot of money to make sure that we can get access to it. So this is one way of guaranteeing straight away that the results you get are suitable to use in your assignments. Open up the library's homepage. You've got the search engine, the little search box in the middle of the page. We recommend that you click Advanced Search, and it takes just a few moments, but the system will then open up a new page, and this is our advanced search. Because I'm not on campus, it says welcome guest, sign into your institution. So I click that, and sometimes it asks you to put in your university details. So all you need to do is whatever you use to get into Blackboard, you will put in there, and then it will send you the verification code. It is coming through. Okay. And after all of that, it'll bring you back through to that advanced search page. I will just show you how to do a little search. What will we go? We'll go computer management. Computer management, all on its own. Type it in, the two separate words, click search. And we get over 6 million results, which is, as you can tell, quite outrageous for anybody to expect to go through 6 million results. I am going to put that into quotes. I'll pop the quote marks around, and you'll see that it will go from 6 million to a mere 6,000. So that is the power of using the quotation marks. I've now told the computer that I just want computer management. Those two words must come together. That's what I'm interested in. Previously, it was bringing me back every single resource with the word computer in it, and then separately all the other resources with the word management in it. I just popped them into the quotation marks, and it has knocked off 6 million, which is pretty good. The results, as you can see, are on the main page, which is very helpful. It also tells you underneath the little logo on the left-hand side what type of resource this is. So number one is an academic journal. You can see the second one is a periodical. The third result is a conference paper. So you'll always know at a glance what type of resource it is. Let's say you're just interested in academic journals. So to tell this computer here that you're interested in academic journals, we slide it down just a little. And on the left-hand side, you'll see that there are source types. And it lists out all the various different source types that we have. We're just going to click academic journals, click that little button on the left-hand side once. The system will automatically update itself, and we've gone from over 6 million to just under 2,000. The click of a button, easy peasy. Again, we can narrow this down, and we can see the publication date on the left-hand side of the screen. The very first piece of information academic journal that we have was published in 1959. Probably not too relevant to you guys. Usually you're asked to do within the last 10 years. So I pop in 2011. Hit the return button and it automatically updates. You can see we've got 742. Computer management is a very broad spectrum. So if you had another element that you wanted to add to that, what specifically about computer management is it that you're interested in, you could include here under and. It's very helpful. Again, if you wanted to narrow things down on the left hand side, you could narrow down by geography. So if you were only interested in things from the United States, for example, there are just 18 resources from the United States. You can break things down by language, by publisher, subject. There's lots of different options to help you narrow things down if your results are too many and too broad. If you like something, you think, oh, that's the one for me, don't bother clicking the title. It's too obvious. Why would you click the title? No, that just brings you through to an interim page and gives you a little bit of waffle. What you're actually looking for to get access to the journal article or any of the resources is this bar down here, actually underneath the logo. You're looking for libkey instant PDF if it has it. You click that once and the PDF version of the article pops up. Straight away-ish. There you go. That's it. You're straight through to that particular journal article. You can see at the top it's got 9 pages. You can scroll through the pages on the side. You can scroll through the pages here in the main area as well if you want. You can download it and print it. All of these options are yours, which is very helpful. If it didn't have that instant PDF, you can click Find Full Text. It should always have Find Full Text beneath the offering, beneath the result. Find Full Text. You click that once and a new page will open up. It's an alternative way to find the information, and it will take you just a couple of links. You'll have 2 different choices. We've got this journal article from 2 different places. You click that and again the journal article will open up. So just to reiterate, if that instant PDF libkey isn't there, Find Full Text will be, and it'll bring you through to another page. It just means an extra click or 2. All of these resources, so the journal articles, they should all be available to you in real time online, provided you have an internet connection. If you find something that you're interested in and you click through and it just will not actually bring you through to the document itself, please let me know, because we spend a lot of money to make sure that you do get access, and from time to time links don't work, and it's really important that I can make them available for you as soon as possible. So it'd be great to know. Also, if you like what you see and you think, yep, that's the one for me, there's a little blue folder on the right hand side. And if you click it once, you see that that becomes a yellow folder. And again, you like the second article, you think, yep, that's for me. You click it, the little blue folder becomes a yellow folder. And at the top of the page, there's a folder area. And those 2 articles have been temporarily stored in a folder for you. And from here, you can build up 20, 30, 40 resources, 5 resources, however many you get and you like. You can save them temporarily in here for yourself. You can select them individually to send on, or you can click Select All and it will select them all. And on the right-hand side, you can save it. You can email them to yourself or to others. You can print them, or you can export them through to a reference management system if you're using a reference management system. A reference management system, what do? They spit out your reference list for you. So they do all of the hard work for you in your bibliography or reference list. We go back. That folder is temporary. So when I finish this session and I close that window, those pieces that I have saved will actually disappear. If I signed into my EBSCO account, and then clicked the blue folder, it would go into my folder permanently, and I can choose when to move them, when to get rid of them. So if you were interested in keeping items long term for maybe a couple of weeks as you're going through your assignment or you're going through your paper and doing your research, you can create your own account using your university details. You just click that button. It will say, if you don't have an account, create one here. Click that button and use all of your university details to create an account. And then the next time you open this page, sign into your account. And then every time you select or unselect a folder, it will go into or out of your own personal folder, and it'll be up to you when you get rid of them yourself. Then it won't be just when the session ends. I don't know if anybody's here. If anybody's here, do you have any questions? And if not, then I'm done.
So I'll just pop in for 5 seconds, just in case anyone is typing up questions, because there's a bit of a delay between whenever you say something, Louise, and then people see it and then have to react to it and then type it into YouTube.
That's no problem. I find that when there's no one to look at, I speed through it. So when I'm in a classroom, I speak in a less pace. If there's no one here, that's absolutely fine. Just people know that I'm around and that they can contact me.
Yeah, no, fantastic. It seems to not be any questions, at least. So I think we're good to call this session quits here. So thanks everyone for coming along, and thanks Louise for giving that talk as well. I'm sure some of our students would have found that really useful.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.